This is Gangrel, and you're fanging and banging to W.E.C.P, the Heels of Podcast.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
The B.S.N Network proudly presents the W.E.C.P with your hosts,
Aaron Holiday
and Jerry Flynn, the Heels of Podcasting.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 12 of W.E.C.P. I'm Aaron.
I'm Jerry.
And we're the Heels of Podcasting. This week's episode, we're going to talk about the show that we went and saw last week in Groton, Connecticut at L.T. Grosso Technical High School, CSW, Constitution State Wrestling, second show. Nat put on a great show. Weather did not cooperate. Kind of hosed him a little bit on the crowd department, but we were there, we were screaming, we were making noise, making sure everyone heard us talking and screaming and booing and cheering. Jerry, what did you think of your first CSW show?
I loved it. I want there to be more shows like that, so I hope Nat could produce more shows and get those guys that were there. You know, I thought all the superstars that were there put on tremendous performances. Even the heels were my favorite part of the whole night because their crowd interactions had me, like, I was laughing the whole entire night, and then when you were heckling them, they all like were looking at you and pointing at you, going like, the one guy out there, you know. That was pretty funny, man. So yeah, I loved it. It was a great experience.
Yeah, no, I definitely tried to make my presence known when all the heels were in the ring. Obviously, there wasn't a huge crowd, so I felt like it was partially our job to make everybody hear us. And there were some young kids in the crowd to also try to teach them, like, hey, you boo the bad guy, you cheer the good guy. That's the shtick. Heels, baby faces, fucking cheer, boo, or whatever. Like, I was cheering some of the heels just because I don't care. I happen to like them because I've seen them at other shows, like Davian. Yeah. I was cheering her, and then everybody else is booing her. So whatever, I don't care. And then everybody could hear me like cheer and like, hey, you know, your Twitter game's strong. Like it's not, but you know, she corrected me after the show. But
she definitely did correct you. I was like, yeah, I remember telling her like, yeah, Aaron was the guy yelling, hey, your Twitter game's strong, and she's like, it's not though.
Yeah, she said her. What is it? Social media game is not on point.
Yeah,
not on point.
Yeah,
I'm gonna reach out to her soon. We're gonna try to get her on the show. You've also spoken to two of the stars that were at the show. Do you want to talk about your interactions with them and what upcoming possible interviews we're gonna get?
Yeah. So after the show, Aaron thought it was a good idea to, on our business cards, put our names and number down, you know, in order to get in touch with us to be on the podcast, and we handed out, like, God, how many cards did we hand out that night? A good stack of them, right?
I want to say at least, I think we might have gave out a card, not to every wrestler, but almost every wrestler.
Yeah, and so we gave out a bunch of cards, like I said, and I heard back from Todd Harris, who we were all very interested in talking to because he's a young kid. He's a 19-year-old kid who loves wrestling, and he travels to wrestle, and you know, he was very excited when we approached him and we're like, hey man, you know, we like your character. And I remember you asking, like, you know, how old are you? And we were all kind of, were you shocked that he said he was 19?
I was more shocked because he looked like he was 12. And I don't mean that to be offensive. He just looks really young.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if he grew a mustache or a beard that would help. He's a smaller kid. He's thin right now. He needs to work out and fill out. before you actually can realize that this is a grown man standing in front of you.
Well, and I'll tell you one thing, though. He knows how to work a crowd.
Yeah, he had a good gimmick. Dave was really into him. Him and was it High Class Rich Bass, the manager. Dave was marking out over them both pretty hard. He was like, as soon as he walked out, he's like, I love his gimmick, and I'm like, you don't even know what he's fucking doing. Like, he could be a complete piece of shit in the ring, and you're gonna fucking sit there and cheer him. And he's like, yeah, but I like what he does. I'm like, no. But so. I don't have to call him out. I don't have to threaten him. I didn't have to use a steel chair or the stairs to the ring to take him out. Buff Dad did not snub us. Dave printed out Buff Dad section signs, and we definitely made our presence felt. He came over, gave us hugs. Me, John, Dave all held up our Buff Dad section signs, screaming his name.
You ran
over,
yeah.
Got a hug, high five to Buff, and cheered him on in the ring. Buff Dad took a pretty legit gimmicked bump from High Class Rich Bass. He took a clipboard to the head, which was a pretty ballsy move. And then they came over and spoke to us after the show. And we gave him our card, and you've talked to him, and that's going to be coming up soon too, right?
Yeah, we have the pleasure of having Two Buff and Buff Dad. They are fully on board with us to be on the show. I've been keeping in touch with actually the two superstars that reached out to me, and we're scheduling a time for when to bring them on, and it'll be after the new year, definitely. So, you guys get ready. Any, Two Buff fans out there, especially Buff, I know you're excited to get him on the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dave will be on that episode. He already said he's going to come. He'll bring all his stuff, and we're definitely going to have a great conversation. I want to make sure we all go over our questions first. That way we don't, for everyone else listening, doesn't have to listen to us all asking the same question or sitting there going, damn it, that was my question. Damn it, that was my question.
Yeah.
Like, that way you have your questions, I have mine, Dave's got his.
Because we have a ton of questions for you, Buff Dad, and Two Buff too, because that gimmick is, I think it's awesome.
Like, I feel like it has to, the big question is, are you really father and son? I need to know that. That's a big need to know. And then questions go from there.
Yeah.
But like you said, the gimmick, you got to know what's going on. I'm just interested to hear exactly what the hell what it is.
Yeah.
For real. Like, whether it's a real relationship or a gimmick relationship. I don't know. They obviously, like, I follow them both on Instagram, and they're always in photos together, so I'm assuming there might be a relation there or something.
I mean, he knows his birthday, so I mean, and he does. Yeah. He seems pretty attached to him, and it's funny because I remember when you told me about, you're like, yo, you gotta watch these guys, Two Buff, and you were like, Buff Dad, like this gimmick is so good, and I remember you telling me, like, when you see these guys, you're gonna just instantly, and I did. The minute I saw them walk out and the things they do to the ring, in the ring, outside the ring. I mean, you can't beat that. Those guys know how to work a crowd too, as faces. I mean, and the entrance music.
What now? Do you remember what it says in the back of their shirts?
Yes, it's eat, sleep, swivel, repeat. So,
and Dave was screaming that over and over again. It was amazing. I'm really they worked a show. I want to say the next night in Rhode Island or Massachusetts.
Oh, I did.
I would have loved to have gone if I had known about it in advance.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start paying attention.
Yeah. Well, for what we do, we have to pay attention.
Yeah. We're going to have to start paying attention a lot more. Also, we got our table set up. We set up our table. We sold some mugs, some glasses. We hooked up Nat with some of his stuff with his own logos on it. Dave's girlfriend hooked us up by doing all that, making all those for us. Raised some money for the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Connecticut.
Yep.
I believe that's what Dave said it is. And, we got to have fun. We got to socialize with people. Got to meet some people. A couple people, after talking to them, watched them, click subscribe to our podcast. So hopefully we'll get some extra listeners there and start spreading the word and see where it goes from there.
If you guys get a chance to check out a Constitution State wrestling show, do yourself a favor and go check it out. Nat is a great guy. I'm very humbled and honored to have met him. He puts on one hell of a show. The superstars alone that he gets are awesome. I mean, this is for indie guys such as ourselves. This is what we thrive on when we do our shows and stuff. Like, yeah, we're WWE guys and Ring of Honor and New Japan, whatever. But Aaron and myself, and stop me if I'm wrong, but we dig the indie scene hard. Like, we're hardcore fans of the indies. I mean, I feel like that's where, that's like the guys that are scratching and clawing just to, because they want to make it. They want to get to WWE. They want to get to Ring of Honor. They want to get to even TNA. So if all you wrestling fans out there, if you guys want to meet awesome people, go see a great show, and even see us there, definitely check it out. I mean, I had a blast. I can't wait for the next show.
Yeah. Once again, you can't beat the fact that it's $10 to sit like in the bleachers, but you're fucking 20 feet away, and then it's $15 to sit next to the ring. Like, it's really affordable, and they have fun, man. Like, that's the whole point, is go to see a local show and it to be affordable for you and your family. And that's the thing, is the weather didn't help. It hurt the show. But they did put on a good show. There was that one tag match that had what they were claiming it was over, over a ton in the ring?
Yeah. It was the heavy hitters versus a Congo and, I forgot the other guy's name, the huge dude there. That ring was definitely put to the test that night. You remember how loud that thing popped every time they got slammed?
Well, when they hit the corner, when they started doing like all four of them in the corner, that was crazy, because I was like, oh my god, the ring's legitimately shifting.
Yeah. And it did. It shifted. I thought the damn thing was going to buckle.
Yeah.
Like when Congo, when he got slammed, I mean, it was just your basic, just a regular scoop slam. That thing, I kid you not, you could have probably heard it from outside. That's how loud this ring popped when this dude hit, the canvas. I mean, and that too, like the bigger guys that come in to wrestle, and you guys gotta understand, like, and remember, like, not everyone has and I'll use this term, a Vince body, like the super tall, buff looking guys, except for Buff Dad and 2 Buff. Those guys were the biggest guys there that night. Body wise. These were like kind of bigger guys, but they moved, they ran, they worked the ropes good, I mean, it was just great. All around, the show was, in my opinion, phenomenal. Adam Rose was there that night.
Yep. Against brutal Bob Evans.
Yeah, Bob Evans, all right. And a Santa, what was he going by?
It was Santa versus the Grinch.
Yeah, which was a pretty entertaining match. We got the chance to meet Adam Rose, and we talked to him a little bit. We gave him our card and stuff like that. So, hopefully he'll get in touch with us. It's good to be optimistic and wishful with that. So, did you get a chance to talk to him by any chance, Adam Rose?
No.
So you. Not that you didn't want to, you didn't care to.
I just didn't feel like Dave had mentioned before when we saw his facial and his body language, didn't really emote that he was happy to be there. So I didn't want to go over and kind of, lack of a better word, mark out to a guy that didn't seem like he wanted to talk to anybody.
Well, yeah, and me and Dave, we picked up on that vibe too. I mean, and as you pointed out to us, like, man, he does not look happy at all, and he didn't. I'm not gonna lie, he didn't. But I just said, screw it. Let's just go see it, talk to him, just to see, he was a pretty nice guy. You know, he shot a promo for us. He, you know, did a couple videos and pictures and stuff for the podcast, so it was very nice of him. And like I said, I gave him my business card, put my number on the back. I told him, if you ever just want to do like a small time show, we have a really good fan base. If you want to just come and talk to us, you don't have to come to us. We just call us, obviously, because we don't know what his schedule's like. But it was cool meeting him. You know, I told him I loved his 30 for 30 on ESPN. That was really it was a tearjerker. And I also had mentioned to him that the WWE did him dirty before he left. So, you know, and he kind of agreed, and he was just like kind of smirking and didn't really like. You know, it's funny because I looked at his facial expression when I said all this stuff to him, and I feel like I kind of picked a nerve, kind of like reminded him, totally unintentionally. I just, you know, as a fan, I just wanted to be like, yeah, man, you know, I told him, like, I think WWE did you dirty, you know, the whole ESPN thing, and he just kind of looked at me and was kind of like, yeah, I know. I was like, all right, well, okay, well, all right.
Well, he did also just fly into Massachusetts that day, was driven to a signing, and then driven to Connecticut in the snow for that show.
Yeah, and the signing wasn't too heavy either, right?
Another thing where the weather didn't help.
Yeah.
I guess it was a signing with, like, the Warlord, Tugboat was there, and I guess, yeah, I was going to say Bruce the Barber Beefcake apparently was there, and so was Greg the Hammer Valentine was supposedly there. I don't want it to sound like I don't like Adam Rose. I just didn't want to go and talk to him. I'm very selective on who I decide to bother. Lack of a better word, I feel like I'm bothering people. I also feel like you were spoiled from the night before. So, like, you meeting someone that was very interactive and very, like, on point with you, and then you meeting a guy that's like, yeah, this isn't my favorite thing to do right now. Like, I love to wrestle, but I don't know about being here in this small show because the turnout didn't work out. But when he did come over to sit, he actually sat next to us. We had our table right next to Adam Rose's table, and he was very polite, came over, hey guys, is this your chair? And I'm like, no, like, I think that's set up for you. And he's like, you know, thanks, cheers, or whatever the hell he said.
Probably cheers.
Yeah. But he was really nice. In that aspect, he was very polite to us. And I'm big on people's being polite, having manners and stuff like that, which is weird, but, you know, considering wrestling, usually they don't have manners. Well, in the ring anyway, their character. But, no, it was a cool show. Bob Evans worked pretty well with him. My favorite worker of the night was, I think his name was Nick Westgate.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Mm-hmm. And his finisher was... I've never seen a finisher like that. It was like this... Like the Cody Rhodes finisher. Only he did like this crazy corkscrew, and they both turned in the air like 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, what the hell is this guy? How are these guys getting all this airtime? You know, like I tell Joe here, I tell him all the time, like we talk about Randy Orton and the drop kicks. When he drop kicks or when he does an RKO, Randy Orton like pauses in the air for like a good 5 seconds. I don't know if you ever noticed that watching him.
Well, he commits to it. He literally flattens his body out.
Yeah.
So when you see him do something, he buys, like, he is up in the air. He doesn't half-ass it. Mm-hmm. Like some people, like, you see him do a drop kick and you're like, oh man, he barely got up on that one.
Yeah. He
barely hit him in the, like, even in the gut.
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys. Look at the drop kicks, the one leg drop kicks. Come on. But yeah, Westgate was really, really very entertaining. We didn't give him a card. I just thought of that.
I'll reach out to him.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to him.
Okay. Let's see, who else? We talked about the girl there that you like. What's her name again?
Davian.
She's a really good heel. And I understand why you like her, because she could work a crowd, man. Like, she has people hating on her bad.
Well, see, we saw her last year when she wrestled Mistress Belmont. Mm-hmm. And kind of the same thing happened last year. I didn't want to go over and bother her, and then Dave's like, come on, guys, and just, like, walked me over there, and then all of a sudden I start talking. I'm not great at starting conversations. I don't really try to bother people too much, but once you get me talking to someone, I'm good. I can talk.
Yeah. So, we could give our thanks to Dave, then. Because Dave held both of our hands that night, you know?
Yeah. Well, no, Dave's very, that's Dave's thing. He's very outgoing. He loves to do that stuff. So, it worked out. Dave also did a lot of the planning and everything. I just mentioned, like, to Dave, hey, it'd be really cool if we could have a table at Nat's show. And then literally 2 days later, he's like, yeah, so we can have a table. I'm like, what are we going to do? And he just, like, and then I started throwing a couple ideas at him, and then he started throwing ideas at it, and it was just like, and then he just went and made it happen. Like, I had, like, a grain of salt idea, and he made a fucking mountain of fucking salt out of it. I don't know how he does it, but his mind just works on a whole nother level. Well,
and speaking of the table, too, you sold a couple figures that you picked up.
Yeah, so I'll give you a little bit of a tip. I know we're going to talk about wrestling figures in a little bit, because I have somebody I want to talk about and thank in our collectibles section, and also talk about a Facebook group that I belong to. A big tip, if you want wrestling figures, you're a huge wrestling fan, hit up your local TJ Maxx or Marshalls or
Big Lots.
There you go. Yep. Big Lots, people. They are the places to go. They're usually 2 to 3 series behind the normal stores, like a Walmart or a Target. But I'll tell you right now, you can pick up an Elite for $10. You can pick up an Elite at a TJ Maxx, like I did. I picked up a Sami Zayn Elite for $6. That's a steal.
Yeah, it's unheard of.
I would have loved to have gotten AJ and then not sold it.
Yeah,
but I didn't. I got a, Sami Zayn, and a little kid is probably ripped that Elite wide open and is playing with it. I also sold his brother or his friend a Bray Wyatt basic, and he ripped that wide open and was playing with that. So at least they're kids playing with wrestling figures.
Yeah.
Like when we were kids.
Yeah, right. Like we were kids.
But, so the show was great. I want to give a big shout out and thank you again to Nat. Really hoping he can do it next year. If not, maybe every 6 months, something maybe a little bit more regular, but whatever he can do, the man makes, as I told him, he makes magic happen. He's the real, I called him a saint. He told me I was going too far. But the man deserves a big round of applause for that and all he did, and also giving these local indie guys another show to work, like giving them when you hear any professional wrestler talk about it, is you just got to keep working at it to find yourself, find what you're good at, what works, what doesn't work, and just go with it. But yeah, I talked to Nat. He's in for after the new year as well because of the holidays coming up. That's why we're going to do all our interviews, post the new year, and that way nobody feels like they have to rush, or we don't have to worry about, interrupting somebody's family plans or your family's plans or my family's plans or whomever. But just try to be a little bit more caring and happy on the holiday season.
That's it.
So what are we doing next, Jerry?
I think we should dive right into this Sunday's Clash of Champions.
Okay, so this Sunday, it's in Boston, I believe, right? I'm going to be in Boston on Sunday myself, not for Clash of Champions. I am going to be at Down East Cider with my friends, celebrating my friend Shannon's birthday. Shout out to Shannon. Happy birthday. I believe her birthday's on the 20th, which is next week, but we're going up to Down East to celebrate her birthday anyway, a couple days before her birthday. So, Jerry, you have the card. I'll let you take hold this time.
All right, so this Sunday, Clash of Champions. we're just going to start off with the kickoff match, right? And then we'll work our way up to what we normally do on the show. So we're going to start off with Mojo Rawley. Am I saying that right? Raleigh?
It's Mojo Rawley.
Mojo Rawley versus Zack Ryder. Mojo Rawley recently turned heel against Zack Ryder, I guess, jumping him backstage or whatever he did. I don't know. I don't care about this match at all.
They turned during a tag match.
It was a tag match?
It was during a tag match.
See, there you go. I mean, I guess I want Zack Ryder to win because I respect him as a wrestler, and I feel like he needs more.
I have his WrestleMania when he won the Intercontinental title. I have his basic that they did for it, and I have his Funko Pop of that same outfit.
Do you have the Funko Pop? His New York Comic Con Funko Pop?
I believe that's what it is.
And that's the one that's worth money, like money.
No, it's a different one. One. No. There's one that's exclusive just to their Seattle store. Is it Seattle they're out of? I believe Funko's out of Seattle.
Seattle, yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Zack Ryder on this. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you're going to choose Zack Ryder too.
I mean, I want Zack Ryder. The only reason why I want to say I give the edge to Mojo is he won the Andre Battle Royal, and he's used to be roommates with Rob Gronkowski of the New England Patriots. So he might have that Gronk strength and just win.
So just on that alone, he's going to win this match.
Might give him the nod there.
Just on that alone. All right, so, I mean, like I said, we'll see. Question before we go on, you probably won't be at home in time to watch it then, I'm assuming.
I might not be in home in time to see the opening match, but I'm hoping to be home by the time the main card starts.
Okay, well, I'll keep you up to date.
Yeah.
Okay, Aaron has Mojo for that one just because of Rob Gronkowski, and I have Zack Ryder because I feel like he needs a push before, this very stagnant career that he has just comes to an abrupt end, and I don't want to see that happen because I actually like him as a superstar. So we'll move on to the next match of the night. This is very surprising to me that these guys are actually going to be active in a match because they have on house shows and they haven't really been doing anything on television, but it's going to be Breeze Dango versus the Bludgeon Brothers. You want me to go first with this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want the Bludgeon Brothers to take this. I feel like that's the only way to get these guys over, and it could go both ways with either or, is one of them has to win, and from this win on out, it has to be like a consistent tag team win. I feel like the Bludgeon Brothers are, given with their time with the Wyatt family, and then they both did their own separate careers. Eric Rowan fell off. Luke Harper got injured, and he fell off. Luke Harper is definitely the Shawn Michaels of the two when it comes to tag teams. But, I just feel like they got packaged, then they got repackaged, then they got repackaged again, now they're repackaged as the Bludgeon Brothers. So, at some point, something has to give with these guys. Breeze Dango, they have their thing, they do what's that show they do, like, behind the scenes?
The Fashion Files.
Right, the Fashion Files, which I guess it's cool. I don't watch it, I don't care for it.
There's deep cuts with, like, pop culture TV shows that are going on right now, or TV shows that are no longer on the air.
So you're a fan?
No. I don't dislike them. I think they're both good workers, but the Fashion Files just don't get me. I don't get all their little inside references. I've been told what the references are, and then I'm like, oh, okay, makes sense, but I still don't.
So still does nothing for you?
Doesn't do anything for me.
So who are you going to go with?
Once again, I think it's the same way you feel. Like, I think the Bludgeon Brothers deserve the win. I think it's, if you're going to build them as a tag team, I would hope. I think that's the way it's going to happen. I just feel like how they've been doing these matches. Did Breezango? I want to say Breezango might have upset them at SmackDown, so they might get back their win.
I'm assuming so. I haven't watched. So. I haven't watched really, but I'm a fan of. Like I said, I'm a fan of Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. I don't want to see more so Luke Harper. I don't want to see him just kind of get kicked to the side. You know, he had the IC belt. He was in that great match at WrestleMania, that ladder match when Daniel Bryan won. I mean, they got to do something. I mean, do you think the gimmick is believable with those two Bludgeon Brothers?
Yeah, I just think you need, if you're going to repackage them, which they pretty much have, Eric Rowan needs to stop wearing that goddamn sheep mask to the ring.
It's too Wyatt family-ish.
Yeah, you just got to let go of it.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we've moved on. We're the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, and, Bray actually sent out a tweet saying, please come back home. And people have assumed it was aimed towards them and their debut, and, I mean,
Or maybe his real-life wife.
Oh! No, he's got JoJo. He's good. Bray loves that brown sugar. Come on now. Just like you, Aaron. So... we both are going to go with Bludgeon Brothers on this one.
Yes.
I'll be very, I guess, disappointed if they lose. I don't know. I mean, do you care either way?
No, because I think my issue, and this is an issue with WWE in general, and tag team wrestling as a whole in wrestling, period, other than, like, the Young Bucks and the Briscoes, like, there are no, like, great tag teams out there. I feel like the Usos are kind of like a throwback to that. They're a tag team. They should always be a tag team. But you don't get these great tag teams anymore because the WWE wants single stars. They don't want tag team stars. Good tag team match can really go a long way, and they don't want to do that.
So you don't put the New Day in that category?
No.
All right, well, on that note, moving on to the next match, which is actually a match I'm very interested in. Only because it's like jam-packed with like so many good superstars. It is the career-threatening match. It's KO and Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Randall Orton, with Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan as tandem special guest referees. If Owens and Zayn lose, they are fired from all of WWE. So here's how this is going to go. That's not going to happen. So Randy's at the point now in his career, and like I said, I've talked to my friend Joe here about, Randy, and he's done it all. He's seen it all. He's held all the titles, basically, pretty much. Now I feel like he's just... Now, the point in his career, the guy's having fun. He's putting people over who he wants to put over.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe, until something happens. And I feel like he is, though. I feel like Randy's at that point where it's... I mean, because think about it. What's the last really important thing he was a part of?
I'll be honest. Evolution?
Right.
I don't...
But title-wise...
If you ask me, I don't like Randy Orton.
Right, well, I know, but... So, it was that Punjabi prison match.
Yeah, when he was competing against Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, and I thought Randy should have taken it then. I knew he wasn't going to because it's Jinder and they like putting jobbers over. So, I'm going to go with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens winning this match. Do I want to see them win? It doesn't... See, to me with this, because I dig all these guys that are in this match.
We know how this is going to go. Listen, Daniel Bryan is going to make it so Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens win so they stay in the WWE. He knows it's best for business to keep them in the company, not let them go somewhere else. And it's going to give Shane either the opportunity to make a heel turn again, or Daniel Bryan's going to make a heel turn. I don't know. It feels like no matter what Daniel Bryan does, he's going to be a babyface, so it's going to have to be a Shane heel turn.
Yeah. Do we put your 2 cents in this match? You
No.
good? Okay. Fred Joe here is a diehard Randy Orton fan, so I figured I'd give him a shot. I agree with that.
And to your point, Randy's so over that they're going to make Shinsuke be the one to take the fall, which I don't want.
I don't want that either. I don't want Shinsuke being the I don't want to say it's not what's what I'm thinking of. It's not the guinea pig, the reason, I guess. I can't think of the word right now. I don't want him to be the reason of them losing by him taking the fall, because it's going to happen. You know what I'm talking about?
They don't care. They don't know how to push anything but American superstars.
Well, Jesus, Aaron.
Swear,
you're right.
Like,
no, you're right.
Think about how many. Perfect example. Think about how many Asian superstars have come to America, and he doesn't know how. They don't know how to like do anything with them.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, if Americans can go over to Japan and wrestle and get over without speaking the language, a Japanese wrestler like a Shinsuke Nakamura has to be the easiest way, like the most common sense wrestler that you don't need to have him talk.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to have him speak proper English. His gimmick, his style, his everything, they don't know how to deal with strong style, and he's kind of gotten away from a little bit of his strong style, but
big time.
But also, they don't know what to do with guys that throw a lot of kicks. They don't know how to deal with that.
See, now we've watched New Japan matches.
Yeah,
that's all they do out there for the most part.
It's more real. It's more realistic.
It's like high knees, right? Kicks.
It's more realistic,
like a street fight.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go with Kevin and Sammy on this. What about you?
Yeah, no, that's the way it's gonna go.
Yeah.
I can't picture that's the end of their WWE run. Like, hey, we want to buy out this. We'll do this last show and we're gone. I don't picture that happening.
That's never gonna happen. So moving on, career-threatening match should be a good match. I freaking hope so.
I hope that if you're gonna do it and Shinsuke and Randy lose, they have to lose big. Like, they have to still look strong in losing. It can't just be like, hey, we both just destroyed them. No, that can't happen.
Yeah, and I hope that's not how it goes. Moving on from that, that was a good match to talk about. I enjoyed talking about that match. The Fatal 4-Way for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship.
See, now this is the match that I'm excited for. Go ahead, tell me who's in it.
Alright, here we go, and I'll save Aaron's favorite for last. We have the Usos, who are the title holders, and they're going to face off Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable versus Rusev and Aiden English versus Aaron's absolute favorite, The New Day. Aaron, take it away, my friend.
So the Usos are going to retain, which they should, because they are the on SmackDown. They're the number 1 team, the number 2 team, and when I think of a tag team wrestlers, is Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. I think they're a good tag team.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're a really, really good tag team.
But are they American Alpha-ish to you?
Yes, but I think better, because I think Shelton Benjamin's got more personality than
Jason Jordan.
Jason Jordan has no personality, and they don't know. Once again, another wrestler they don't know what the hell to do with.
Yeah. So you're on the fence. So Usos is that's your team to go with.
I mean, so what is it? They're all versing each other.
Yeah. Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, it's going to be the Usos. It's either the Usos. If they give Russo and Aiden English the titles, I'm going to have a rough time with that. I don't hate Rusev and I don't hate Aiden English. I just don't get it.
I don't get it either. It's like
it's getting over, but I don't understand it.
And me being an Aiden English fan, I'm happy he's getting over, because there was a minute there where he was just he was like,
is he the one he's married to Eddie Guerrero's daughter, I believe, right?
Yes, he is. Lucky bastard. I'm gonna go with the Usos too. I don't like the New Day. I
think it's played out. There has to be a heel turn by somebody there, or
I just don't think. Well, no, because
or they have to do something.
But in a recent interview, Kofi Kingston said the interviewer asked them something along those lines of a heel turn or staying face, and he goes, "Well, no, because we're none of that. It's just how we feel that day." How do you feel about that? So it's like they'll turn or they'll stay on their terms. It's like they have that.
Well, I mean, you have to have to get yourself. They did what they did to begin with, because they weren't getting what they wanted, and they spoke up and decided to make something of their own. That's what they need to do. They need to make their own thing. But it's not. I don't find it funny anymore. It's all played out. At a certain point, you have to change with the times, and I don't think they're doing that.
No.
But they're one of the most over things, and kids love them, and that's all Vince McMahon wants. It's all about the money.
Yeah.
And they sell.
They sell.
They sell to everyone else.
Those unicorn dildos to the kids.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're both going to take the Usos on that, only because it's just makes too much sense to have them retain. Now, this next match right here, I'm actually really interested in. The Lumberjack match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Okay. Charlotte Flair.
This is the one I was reading upside down. This is the one I was the most excited for.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. So, Charlotte Flair is still the women's champion, and she beat Natalya for it. And there's going to be a Lumberjack match. Now, the people who don't know what a Lumberjack match is, essentially, it's pretty much the women are in the ring, and the outside of the ring is filled with other superstars. So it's going to be...
Well, other female superstars.
Other female... Yeah, no, yeah. There's not going to be any more... No. No male superstars unless it's the cross tag. And basically what happens is whoever gets thrown out of the ring, you get the shit kicked out of you, you get thrown back in the ring, the next person goes over, they get the shit kicked out of them, and it's just one big ass-kicking time for everybody. I got Charlotte Flair on this, retaining.
So it's Charlotte versus who?
Natalya.
Just that's the match?
Versus Natty, yeah. Natty. Jim Neidhart's daughter.
Yeah.
The Anvil.
I think Charlotte holds. I think she stays the champ.
But who do you want to win, though?
Who do I want to win? I mean, I've always thought Natalya deserved a long-term run, but she's never going to get it.
She's also not interesting. But here's what I will say, though. She's definitely part of the Hart family because she wrestles just like Brett. It's weird.
No, that's what I think. You have two really good workers in the ring. I hope they get more than... What was it? The last time they wrestled at a pay-per-view, it was like... It ended disqualification, and it went like 9 minutes. Yeah. I want them to get a 20-minute match.
I want Charlotte Flair...
So, the other part of the Lumberjack part of it...
Yeah.
That's the big storyline to this is... Half the Lumberjacks are the older female wrestlers that have been on the main roster for a little while. And then the other part of you have the Riot Squad.
Oh, that's right.
They're part of the Lumberjacks as well.
Love the Riot Squad.
So they're the ones that are going to be attacking them. But then I think they're going to jump on the same side as Natalya because she's not the champion.
Right.
And then everyone else is going to protect Charlotte. So when those people, vice versa, if Charlotte ends up outside the ring, the Riot Squad's going to want to attack them. Which I like their name better than Paige's fucking group. I don't like it.
You know how we talked about that? I wanted to get this out, especially like now.
Yeah.
You know how I was against you with the whole Paige thing?
Yeah.
I'm totally citing you.
Have you seen her new shirt?
Yeah.
Scream, I'm back, or something like that. That's what it says on her shirt.
Exactly what Aaron wanted, for her to keep saying, I'm back. And now, if you guys listen to the last episode, he harped on this, saying, no.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
So you're not going to buy a shirt?
No, I'm not buying her fucking shirt.
Even if it's on sale?
No.
Giving it to you as a gift?
No.
What if your
mom...
You
give it to me for a gift, I'm selling it.
What if your mom bought it for you?
I am bringing it to our next show, and I'm selling it for charity.
And that's for a good cause.
Yes.
I commend you on that.
Same thing for a New Day shirt. You want to buy me anything New Day, Paige, or anything else that I don't like, I will gladly take it. I will be polite, thank you for it, and then take it and sell it for charity.
So should I return those New Day Elite figures I bought you?
You should.
I'll just give it to you. So we're pretty much I'm on Charlotte's side with this.
I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be Charlotte.
Quick question, though, about Charlotte Flair. Do you prefer Charlotte as a heel or a face? What do you think she's more molded as?
Yeah, I mean, she, like Joe just said, she's a better heel, but I think she works as a babyface too. I think everybody knows who she is, so it's not like when it was Rick, you were booing Rick because Rick's always been the dirty guy. She hasn't been altogether dirty. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
I saw that earlier.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I like her better as a face.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm perfectly okay with it.
You're good. You're good either way.
Yeah.
Okay, so
all depends on who she's going up against. Like Natalia's a heel right now, so it makes sense.
So when it comes to Charlotte, Aaron's a well-rounded guy for Charlotte, no matter what she is. Heel, face, prostitute, stripper. He's down.
I think hear what's sad is I think she was. I remember when she came out with her dad one time to one of the shows. I think after he retired, and they came out to the ring. They gave him the standing ovation and stuff, and she looked amazing.
She had that short haircut.
Oh, she looked gorgeous. Now I'm like, she's still pretty, but like I'm like she's pretty. But I don't find her.
You know what it is?
Overly attractive, but that's just because. But I also find her more attractive than some of the other wrestlers that everybody else loves. So
yeah, which is weird because I look at Charlotte's body and it just looks like one piece, like just going straight down. There's no curvature anywhere.
For a girl that was a volleyball star in college, you would think she'd have more curves, but
something like that.
She works out a lot.
She definitely
say that
she definitely does.
She is jacked for what she does.
That girl's six-pack is crazy. Okay, so the last two matches, very exciting. I think I'm more excited for the U.S. title match rather than the actual WWE Championship match. So we're just going to dive right into it. We have a triple threat match for the U.S. Championship. Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler are going to be taking on Baron Corbin, who is the champion. Is this Bobby Roode's time?
I think it should be.
Yeah.
I think they like Baron Corbin too much. And I think they kind of want to part Roode and Ziggler off, but they've been doing that and it's not overly exciting. They need to let Roode get the title and make something happen.
Now, of all titles for him to have, what's the title you'd prefer to see him have?
I think any title around his waist. He'll make it. He'll make it.
I'm going to go... I want Bobby Roode to win. I just feel like Baron Corbin's going to retain it. Just to hold it out until like a bigger pay-per-view, because we're almost back on the road to WrestleMania. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing. The other thing I was going to say about that, like, you're saying, like, which title would I like to see him wear? Because of his, like, he does the last name Roode because of Rick Rude.
Yeah.
That's why he picked that name. I think the perfect title for him would be the Intercontinental title.
I was thinking the same exact thing, man.
But that's not going to happen. Did you see this week they released a bunch of photos of superstars wearing old school titles?
Yeah, actually, I did.
And I think some of them look fucking way better than the horse shit they have out there now.
I just want to say, Asuka, if you guys can go look at the picture of Asuka in the old women's championship belt, bro, she is perfect. Asuka is perfect. Braun Strowman wearing the ECW title.
Yes.
We had who held
Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson holding the old tag titles,
which are
really cool.
Paige held the women's title.
Who held
the women's title? And who was the last one that actually won this one?
Who held the world title?
The world title.
Oh, Finn
Balor.
Finn and Seth, right?
Yeah.
Finn and Seth or somebody else.
Finn Balor definitely wore the picture that I saw.
Yeah. He looked...
And then I think, like, maybe, like, what the hell's his name? Dean Ambrose holding, like, the old Intercontinental or something like that. Who else? And then somebody else held the European. Somebody busted out the European. Cesaro held out the European.
Which
title.
I actually liked on him.
Yeah.
I wish they would bring that title back.
Yeah.
So okay.
So
who like your choice? I mean,
it's my choice. Who I want to win is Bobby Roode.
Naturally.
Who I think's going to win is probably going to be Baron Corbin.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Dolph, dude.
Well, I wish he was a better character.
Yeah, well,
for me to root on better. I like Dolph Ziggler as a wrestler. I don't like his character.
He's a phenomenal bump taker, and that's why. And we were just talking about this, and this is why. And I'm going to keep saying this every time we talk about Dolph Ziggler on the show. I'm just going to keep going back and saying it, and people get annoyed with me saying this. I don't care. I have the mic. He is too good at taking bumps. It's never. That's it.
He's Nick from the fucking Spirit Squad.
That was like one of the best factions ever, Aaron.
Yes.
You have all their figures. Don't lie.
Yeah, I wish.
All right, now for the main event of the night. Not for the show, but for the night of Clash of Champions. The WWE Championship match. AJ Bad Hairstyles versus Jinder Mahal. There's just no way in hell that Jinder is going to get this title. But I think he is because of that great match he had with Triple H. And I think the creative side is they're going to put the belt back on him to give that bad guy thing, have AJ work back up to it, because think about it. Jinder just had a great match with Triple H out in, I think, where? Dubai, I think? India, whatever. I just think they're gonna slap the title back on him to build up that story mode to kind of get, like when we get to the Royal Rumble, when we get to WrestleMania. I'm not saying he's gonna have the title at WrestleMania, but I feel like, I don't know, I just something tells me like AJ's not gonna retain tomorrow. I would prefer him to retain the title. I just don't see it happening.
AJ's retaining. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you. He's retaining. They're not going to take the title off of him. It's too quick. It's too soon. They've already made their inroads to India. They don't need an Indian champion anymore. And I don't think he's bad. He's got a great look. He doesn't cut horrible promos for what he is.
Who, Jinder?
Jinder, yeah. And I think Jinder's not a bad wrestler, but I think it's the WWE style that makes him fucking lackluster at best. And his finisher, he needs to work on something better than his
Colossus.
Yeah, the Colossus it's not pretty. And I think he did it to like AJ or he did it to somebody else that's a smaller guy, and it looked fucking horrible. Oh no, he did it to one of the Singh brothers, and it looked like shit.
The Singh brother came out of it, and literally just landed on the back of his neck. It was horrible. It
looks like shit. He needs to figure something else out better. Like we talked about last week with Joe, 2 weeks ago with Joe from B.S.N, is that basically you need to have a move that you can do to anybody. You should be able to do it to one of the Singh brothers and hypothetically the Big Show, Kane. Like, put them in something that you can do to anyone. It should be like the stunner you can do to anyone. DDT you can do to anybody. Like it should, and that's another thing. A fucking DDT should not be a fucking like random move in the middle of a match.
Yeah.
I rewatched the resurrection of
Jake the
Snake.
Phenomenal.
And I'm sorry, like when he does it, it looks fucking legit.
Yeah. We were just talking. So me and I'll call him My Joe.
There you go.
Me and My Joe, we were just talking about, finishers and certain people that do finishers, and when they do their finisher, it makes it believable that they're doing it. Like we talked about Big Show and his chokeslam.
Yep.
How when he, back in the WCW days, even like sometimes now he'll do it. He'll, instead of just dropping you down, he'll fall to his knees to kind of give you that extra like boom. You know what I'm saying?
There's just movesets that are you believe it. It tells a story behind it. Like the super kick. When Dolph Ziggler does a super kick, it's not like Shawn Michaels. When Shawn Michaels super kicked you, you felt like you got super kicked yourself. Dolph Ziggler, everybody's doing a super kick. It's kind of like played out in a sense. It's just
everyone's doing the super kick.
The Usos.
The Usos do the super kick.
But they do it as a tag team, which makes it kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
They do it different than what you see everybody else doing. You don't see everybody doing the RKO. You don't see everybody doing like the rock bottom.
DDP.
You don't see these people doing it. These are moves that you want to see again. But like I said, every wrestler can't really have that thing. Like Bobby Roode's finisher, he did it the other night. Not saying it looks like a move that Edge used to do, but it fits him. But I'm not really like even Baron Corbin's move. I'm not sold on it too much. I'm not like it doesn't really get me. Like it doesn't really look like it. He does it to somebody small.
Yeah. Cool.
But he does it to somebody, Cesaro, Sheamus.
No, what is it called? What is Baron Corbin?
I don't know.
Is it the End of Days?
End of Days. Now he did it recently to Kalisto. I think
Kalisto's very small.
Tiny.
But when he was Spider, like he was trying to do like I think a Hurricane Rana, or he did something, and Baron flipped him over in midair, caught him, brought him back, and then just whacked it flat. Boom. I like the end of days. I used to be I'm not gonna lie, I used to be a mark for Baron Corbin, and it kind of dwindled as the months went on because I'm just like, God, like, I don't know. To me, I used to be, like I said, I used to be a fan of his. Part of me still feels like I am, but I guess I just don't care.
All right, so like last time, I'll throw my writer hat on. If I had it my way, I'd put him in a tag team and I'd put him with Ziggler, and just let them go out there and work their fucking asses off and just destroy people. I'd want them to do a tag team finisher, which I think that a lot of people have gotten away from.
Of course.
I never was a huge fan of the Road Warriors finisher just because it hurts people. But it was devastating and it was awesome and people loved it. And people still talk about it. Obviously, I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
But that's what I would do. I'd put him in a tag team. I think that just would work perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So...
But he's a lone wolf, though.
Yeah, but once again, I hate that.
Yeah, well,
Like, I get it, but him, Braun, everybody else wears the same fucking pants, too. Like,
Bray Wyatt.
At a certain point, like...
Patchy pants.
Yeah, like, it just... Get your own shit.
They all look like Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't work. I'm sorry, people. It just doesn't.
So. I'm with you, Aaron. I just don't see going back to AJ Styles. AJ Styles is going to win it. I just think the road to WrestleMania is too close. He sells. I think even after take the match with Brock Lesnar, he got tweeted after that match by so many people. He puts on a better show than Jinder Mahal could have. I mean, Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar was supposed to be like this match, but AJ Styles went far and beyond than what anybody could say. And like I said, even the promo, Jinder doesn't cut a good one. I mean, he cuts an okay one, but AJ Styles is going to keep selling it. I mean, the face that runs the place, that's his thing. But the question I have is, he wins it, who is his next opponent? Who are they going to have face AJ Styles? Because Royal Rumble's right around the corner.
The most logical guy to face him would be, if you're going to go based upon like your best heel, it would have to be KO. But right now he's teamed up with Sammy, so it really doesn't make sense unless you couldn't put
Randy back in there.
I don't want to see that. I seen Randy do all that shit.
But who else does SmackDown have?
If you don't put the title on Bobby Roode, you put Bobby Roode.
If Bobby Roode does not win this title tomorrow, please make that happen. AJ versus Bobby Roode, like TNA all over again.
Well, I was gonna say them together. If you're gonna have
them together,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you feel like you want to do a KO and Sami Zayn versus AJ and whomever, I would want it to be like Bobby Roode.
Yeah.
It would be cool. You know who would be the perfect guy for him to wrestle? But I would save it for WrestleMania. Like, that's a WrestleMania match. Shinsuke. Like, it doesn't have to be good versus evil. Just two guys that have faced each other at one point. Where I'm revenging my loss from Japan.
Yeah. So talent versus talent.
Yes.
Yeah.
God forbid they do that.
Yeah, this is wrestling we're talking about. So, I mean, you put two talented guys in the ring, and you might put asses in the seats. Not everything should be character driven. I'm just saying, like, this is why this whole thing with, I feel with Bray and, Woken Matt Hardy, it's starting to become, like, those split videos they do, where he's, like, laughing, and then he'll go to the glass shattering, and then Matt's just laughing, and I'm like,
He's not broken, he's woken.
He's not broken either, he's woken. So, I mean, but we'll talk...
They waited too long to make this happen. They really did.
Way too long.
They wanted this back when they first got back to the WWE, and now, like, the Finn Balor feud was with Bray Wyatt, I feel was... You just didn't know how to get the rights over. You couldn't get them over yet, so you had to put something in there. Because everybody was screaming, delete, delete, delete from WrestleMania. And you're talking almost a year later... Like, you waited too long for this to happen.
Well, they had to get the rights to it.
Yeah.
I think...
What a hell of a fight they went through, too.
Well, I think what it is I think the Hardy Boys got the rights to it, But then Vince said, yeah, but I want to market my thing, so it's Woken.
Right.
The Broken might be too not family friendly. So you guys have anything else to say about Clash of Champions? Joseph?
I'm pretty much on the same boat. Taking AJ. Sorry, Randy, you're about to lose because they're not going to let that happen. Mojo, with, some of the matches you guys talked about are pretty much the same. I mean, nothing spectacular. The only thing is probably the women's fatal lumberjack match. That's probably going to go Natalia's way just because I think the 3 chicks, or whatever their name is.
Like, heel has to win Sunday.
I think Natalia's going to win. I really think Natalia's going to win this one.
So if they're going to do that, it's probably going to be her.
I think Natalia's going to win this one just because Charlotte's a great wrestler, but I think something's going to happen at that lumberjack match, and Natalia's either going to steal a win or she's going to win it somehow, some way. I just don't know how. She's going to win it. So,
final thoughts, Aaron?
Not an extremely favorable pay-per-view,
No.
to say the least. I'm not overly impressed by it.
Cards week. I think we're safe to say we're more Raw guys.
No. I love SmackDown. I just don't like
if Bray
anything everybody's doing.
If Bray was back on SmackDown, I'd be.
Which they might do.
I hope so. Okay, so we're good. I feel like the card, it's a lackluster card. It is what it is. I mean, we've touched base on everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess now is to go into the entertainment section of our podcast.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's get into it.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
So, Star Wars is out. I have not watched it. It came out last night. I didn't go opening night. I'm sorry, I don't do that. I've done it before with other movies. I hate going when people get overly excited and scream and laugh and cheer and blah, blah, blah. Fucking watch the movie and shut your mouth.
That's what ruined Avengers for us.
It's what ruined fucking Justice League for me. I don't know if we talked about it, right?
We did.
We talked about what I thought. You've seen it since then?
No, I just
still have not seen it.
Still have not seen it.
Jesus Christ, Jerry.
It's Star Wars.
What are you doing? Yeah, okay. But Star Wars, I have heard 2 people from 3 friends. I should say 3 friends. One, Chad Dizzle Davis of Pass the Effin' Popcorn podcast, and his co-host Liz Reed. Apparently, Chad did not overly love the movie. He was not a fan. He said that's his opinion. Liz had a different opinion. She thought it was a good movie. Okay. I got a text from my brother. He was not a big fan of it. Had the same opinion as, I guess, me as Thor. Great movie for what it visually is and what you want to see more of it, but too funny. That's what my brother said. Then I've heard from another friend. She went and said she loved it. It was all the things that she wanted to see in a Star Wars movie. So I don't know, man. I'm still fucking excited because I don't care what anybody says. I want anytime Chewie's on the screen, and you're gonna have Luke Skywalker, and it's. I'm sorry, but it's fucking Carrie Fisher's last ever time on screen, so I'm going to cherish every moment of it when she's on the screen, and I'm excited. I'm going to try to go this week coming up. I figure I'd let everybody go crazy this weekend, plus my weekend's packed. That's why we're recording this on a Friday night instead of a Sunday. I'll also give everybody an opportunity to listen to this show before Clash of Champions, and then you can rip us apart on Instagram or something about how like I was totally wrong or something like that.
Yeah, you can tell us our predictions are dog shit. Going back to the Star Wars, I heard from a couple people too. My brother saw it opening night, and he this is how he put it. He goes, it's like when you're about to get into a bar fight and the guy jacks you up against the wall, but when he hits you, you don't feel it. Like when Bubble Bass hit SpongeBob and all you heard was like the squeaky toy noise. He goes, everything was there. It just wasn't executed good. And I went, for real, man? I was shocked when I heard that. Only because I was a fan of Force Awakens. I don't know why, okay, I had the same formula as A New Hope. Get over it.
I loved it.
I didn't have a problem. So, with that in mind, I will be going into this movie with...
I'm still going to love it.
Yeah, I mean, just based on, like you said, Carrie Fisher's last on-screen role, come on. I mean, you have to cherish everything that she's given us, everything that she's done for us Star Wars fans, and, I mean, it's like one of those things where you can't let critics judge your movie experience, which I think a couple people have done in regards to Star Wars, and I know there's a couple people even saying from the trailers, they're like, well, the movie just looks confusing, and there were a couple reviews that I've read where people were saying that there's plot holes everywhere, and we jump from here, but then we jump to here, we go back to this, but jump further ahead what we just watched, and it's like, whatever. Like, I'm still gonna love it. Like, it is what it is. I mean, I definitely am gonna have to. I need to see it either this weekend or the next weekend. I don't know if maybe we'll go see it together if you want, if you're not busy. That way we can give like a solid review on it. I'm excited. I'm always gonna be excited for a Star Wars movie. I mean, it is what it is.
You're also the same fucking guy that harasses us every time. Me and my buddy Adam, that fucking Han Solo's a bitch. So anything you say about Star Wars, I take with a grain of salt, Gerald. All right?
Gerald what?
Gerald F. Gardner. Which I met him in person.
What?
Yes.
Damn.
Anyway, so I watched the mid-season finale.
Walking Dead.
I watched Walking Dead's mid-season finale. I felt like it was. I'm gonna take a Kevin Smith reference,
okay.
and I'm not gonna steal it. I'm just gonna say it, and say that that's how I felt afterwards. It had the suspense. The music was the scoring was really good of the show. It felt like, and the emotions you were getting with the faces and shit, it felt like you're getting a blowjob, and then she finishes with her hand. And you're just like, what the fuck? That's how I felt.
Yeah.
I felt like you got some really good stuff, and then all of a sudden, it was just...
Bleh.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Just didn't work.
No. I was wondering too on how they were gonna do this. I'm like, wait, like who could they possibly, or how can they possibly end this episode to have us going like, shit, now I gotta wait 3 months to fucking see what's going on.
Did you feel that?
No, because I didn't care.
At all.
The character, I don't know, we shouldn't spoil it, should we?
I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, that's on you. I'm not gonna, I guess I won't spoil it, but, it's a character that most of the people that I know that are huge Walking Dead fans, they don't fucking like the character anyway. So, like, when you find out that, like, that character might die, it's like, who cares?
Yeah. I prefer this character more so in the comics.
Yeah.
He's a lot better in the comics. I'll put it that way.
Well, you gave it up. It's a he.
Son of a bitch. I mean, fuck it. We're a week after.
Yeah, well.
Listen, alright guys, you know what? Carl got bit, okay? The end of the episode, he pulled off this bandage, he has a bite mark, and it just kind of Rick looks down at him, and the camera pans out, and it just goes black. And I'm sitting there going like, well, I guess that's one problem out of the way. I don't know why he annoyed the shit out of me in the show. I mean, like, how do you, like, did you lose sight of Carl, like, as the seasons progressed in the TV show?
I just didn't care. Like, it wasn't that I hated it. I didn't have, like, I know people that were, like, straight up just like, somebody fucking kill this kid.
Yeah.
I'm the exact opposite. I just don't care. I don't want to waste the time on it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a Glenn reaction.
No,
like,
and like,
no!
if you really wanted to get me, you would have had him and his girlfriend there really, like, going at it one episode. But they didn't do that either. So it's like, and I don't want to see children going at it. Don't take it wrong. They're fucking both, I think, 16, the legal age of consent.
That's fine.
But, you know what I mean? Like, just at least have them show some, like...
You're just saying what we're all thinking.
Yes. It's one of those shows that it's getting to the point where I feel like every episode, there's never anything happy. I feel like no matter what I do, it's a sad show. Like, it's never... And I get it. Like, there's zombies and people are fucking dying. Like, I get that. But, like, you never... It feels like you're never getting a feel-good moment anymore. You haven't gotten one in a long fucking time.
I mean, come on, man. Facebook doesn't exist in this world. What the hell? But, yeah, no, it left me... I don't want to say with a bad taste in my mouth, but I was just kind of like, whatever with it, you know?
Yeah, I just didn't care. It was a very lackluster mid-season finale, even for, you know what I mean, as much as I've been a little bit down on Walking Dead, I thought, like, they usually at least, you know, do something big, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Carl getting bitten's not a big thing, but it's the lead up to it gets to the point where it happens, and you're like... Well, that wasn't fucking exciting. His eyes like glossing, like his eyes glazing and getting all upset because his son got bit, and I'm like, he's got a daughter, like, and Michonne's there. He's gonna try to have another kid.
It's okay, Rick. Just keep taking care of Shane's kid. You know.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a Milano kid. So I guess as far as entertainment goes, we pretty much touched up. You know, Star Wars. We're gonna go see it, whether together, separate, whatever. Shout out to Adam Messler. Han Solo is indeed a bitch. Just kidding, I love you. I love Han Solo. Walking Dead, lackluster. Yeah, we'll see where it goes when it picks up in March. Right? It's gotta be March.
So.
Yeah,
I think so.
So I guess we are gonna head on into the collectibles portion.
Yes.
All right, we'll take it away, Aaron.
Collectables. So I want to shout out my good friend, new friend that I've made on Facebook and the Facebook group Wrestling Figs, WFIGS. They're retro figures from Mattel, Hasbro, Jax, whatever you want to call it. LJN. All the great old figures. They like to talk about them, and customs. This gentleman, Robert M. Burdick, sent me 2 amazing figures, a Berserker Hasbro figure and Goldberg Retro Series 2 figure. I just want to say a huge fucking thank you to you, man. I did not own a Berserker Hasbro when I was a kid. I now own it because you sent it to me. He's doing all these awesome raffles, and you can buy in. This one happened to be like, I want to make a promotion, you guys. I want to put something out there for the fans, and I just happened to like and commented on the post, and I won, and I just want to say thank you so much, and it is sitting on my dresser at home right now. Shout out from W.E.C.P to you, sir, and all the fine gentlemen on that Facebook group. I have also picked up, I want to say, did I tell you that I picked up the Target Nakamura and Asuka NXT figures?
Oh.
I picked those up.
Wow.
And I also picked up, so I fucking went to Walmart the other day and picked up the rest of Series... No, the rest of Series... Is it Series... That's Series 2. That was Series 3. He sent me Series 3 Goldberg. I messed that up. But I picked up the rest of Series 2. I got... I found Mankind, Sting, Kane, and Triple H all at the same place. They were the only ones there. Kane was the only one that wasn't a duplicate. And I think Mankind and Kane were the only ones that was just one of them there. They had 2 of the Triple H's and 2 of the Sting, but they're gone now. I went back there the other day, and all that's there is Austin and The Rock. So they're kind of like the Ultimate Warrior of Series 1. Yeah. You're just going to see a lot of that retro figure on the shelf. I need to get an AJ, and I need to get I just need to get an AJ, I think, of Series 3.
I've been hunting AJ for you.
I haven't. They don't have it. There isn't any in Connecticut.
No.
I'm going to have to probably buy it online. But you had picked me up a Goldberg figure.
Yes.
We're going to use that as one of our figures to sell for charity at our next show that we're going to do.
Okay.
And that way we'll do that, because that was what you gave me that for paying for your ticket to go to CSW.
Yeah.
We'll just do that.
That's fine with me, bro.
So I just think that's awesome. This guy gave me figures. Just send them to me, man. Like, and that fucking Berserker figure is pretty fucking mint. He wasn't burying the lead when he told me. It was pretty nice. Mm-hmm. So shout out to you, sir, Robert M. Burdick. Thank you very much. Is there anything you picked up, Jerry?
As far as figures go, there hasn't been anything I have picked up, just due to me. It's busy time of the year at my job, so I haven't really been going out. But I just want to, if I may, Robert, thank you once again for sending Aaron the figures to help us with our Instagram posts and stuff like that for the W.E.C.P. And for anyone out there who would like to sponsor us, especially in the figure world, don't be shy to hit us up. We will definitely take figures, even the figures that we buy. We will review them. We'll do the articulation. Anything anyone wants to promote. Like, me and Aaron are always down. We're huge figure guys. We love collectibles. We've been collecting for years now. He has a full closet full of stuff. His dresser is just about ready to topple over. I don't think I can fit any more boxes in my basement, but I still do it because it's a passion that we have, and it makes us happy, and life's too short to not be happy. So, anyone out there who, would like to, send figures our way for us to review, even if to review and we'll send it back, we can do that too. Actually, I lied. I'm sorry. I did pick up the Storm Collectables Hollywood Hulk Hogan Series 2 figure. I'm so sorry. My girlfriend actually got it for me for a 3-month anniversary type thing, early Christmas gift or whatever. Shout out to my girl Pooji Bear. I love it. He's got the white boots with the blue lightning on it. It's the Hollywood, he wore the white gloves. I think this is towards the end of the NWO run, because the first series I have of Hollywood is when he just became Hollywood Hogan. So if you guys go on Big Bad Toy Store, or is Matty Collector still a thing?
No,
that's died out.
That's done.
Sorry about that. Bad
Ringside
Collectibles. If you guys are Hollywood Hogan fans, I know Aaron loves Hulk Hogan. Pick up this figure. Pick up both of them. I mean, they're awesome. I love them. I'm a huge fan. But again, Robert Burdick, thank you for sending Aaron those figures and having us help promote your Facebook page. And we hope to hear from anybody in the figure world who would like to help us out. That'd be awesome. And with that, I'm good to go. Aaron.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be speaking to you soon.
Too soon.
Well, I met this lady and I told her quite a story. Said I love her forevermore. But the trouble is I tell the same old story to every girl that walks through the door. This is the slickster talking at you, honey. Well, first they love me and then they don't. Sometimes they do it and sometimes they won't. So I said to this girl, hey, you get out. And she got to her feet and began to shout, you a dinosaur bro, a dinosaur bro. And you're always lying to your friends. You're a dinosaur bro, a dinosaur bro. And you never get nothing in the end. What you talking about, ladies? This is the slickster talking to you. I don't do nothing but